Hello, and welcome to the Metropolitan Elites. Lefties. The lefties. It's just typical of the left. The left.
The leftards.
You would say that, wouldn't you? You're lefties.
Bloody lefties.
They're ruining everything. I mean, it's just awful. It's just awful. And they keep calling people names, those lefties, those retarded lefties. All they do is hurl abuse at us, those fucking idiots. That's message boards, currently. Hello. Yeah, I thought, well, today we shouldn't talk about Trump. We should talk about everything else.
We could talk about why Trump... How can a man with a name like Trump actually become President of the United States?
Yeah. And today we had another... the thing about the Muslims. Now, there was actually a press release. It wasn't him, it was... Oh no, his spokesperson something said. He never said that. Don't lie and say that he said that. It's on film. We're going to have a register for Muslims. He would never do that. He's never said that categorically. It doesn't matter. Post-truth.
That's a new word, isn't it?
Yeah. I asked some people of that today, and none of them knew what I was talking about, and they were like, "How would we know that?" So they obviously live in some sort of bubble.
Well, they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be quite challenging to do a non-Trump episode because. When you put the news on, you can't go 30 seconds without Trump's name being mentioned.
Let's talk about Theresa May. Oh yeah, she's been talking to Trump. Jeremy Corbyn. Oh, he's been talking about Trump, the effect of Trump. And well, what you can say is, on the one hand, we still have no idea what he's doing. Because he's gone back on everything, we don't know what the hell he's doing. The appointments are terrifying.
Yeah.
But he's taught, what he said, give me a chance, hang on, give me a chance. And remember he was a Democrat before, and he's talking about bringing people together. Is he playing a very clever game? He played a clever game beforehand, didn't he? Okay, what's his name? Stephen Bannon?
Yeah.
This horrific man.
Yeah, but here's the thing, yeah. I mean, we're really clutching at straws now. I mean, the hope is...
He's not a horrific lunatic. He's not Nazi.
But there's a very good... If you want to have a progressive economic policy, a more redistributive economic policy, the person you get to do it is not some
billionaire,
some guy who doesn't wear a tie, top button undone, swaggers about the pace, all cool, e.g. Yanis Varoufakis or someone like that.
God, he's such a twat.
You get the most middle class, straight laced banker type figure you can
boring man,
and get him to do it. Because people will accept it from that type of figure. It's normal. Mr. Smith is doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe he's getting these mega right wing, crazy, racist people. Obviously, right? Not accusing them of being racist.
They just
actually been racist people to institute all these progressive policies, so that Fox News won't go mental.
Exactly. Yeah. They can't feel like outsiders when they're in the cabinet.
Yeah.
And there is something in that. But yeah, I mean, Yanis, whatever his face is,
Varoufakis.
He's just a contrarian. He loves to go on TV and then get slaughtered. I'm sure he enjoys it. He likes being the one man in the room, everyone boos.
I don't know about that, because actually whenever I see him in something, you expect, let's say he goes up against a Conservative, Jacob Rees-Mogg, someone like that, they end up agreeing with 90% of what he's saying, sort of thing. Yeah, there is actually a lot of crossover with what he says between him and what his apparent opponents are.
Is that the anti-establishment thing? The same way, Corbyn could now win because Trump won?
Possibly.
There you go.
Yeah.
We don't. That Steve Bannon, who looks like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this TV show, you've got Cole McLaughlin in there, and he's what we thought was, it looked like it was going to be like an Incredible Hulk thing, but it turns out it's like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. He looks like that. This guy, he looks like that, which is great. I like the fact that he doesn't, like you said, I like the fact that they're not suits, and maybe that's the thing, that people don't trust suits. So someone scruffy and is appealing, in the same way George Bush, Reagan not being intelligent was a thing.
Yeah, I don't understand how people find that appealing, but I mean, that's the way. I suppose we've had years and years and years of so-called, really quite intelligent people going to the top universities and colleges in America, coming through to politics, and ruining everything.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had, as I said before, Suits or the establishment. I'm getting a bit tired of that word now. I think it's time to park the establishment.
Well, it doesn't mean... we don't know what that means anymore, do we?
Well, no, it means a different thing to everyone else, sort of thing. You hear people criticising the BBC, right-wingers, talking of the establishment, And these people are like millionaires, born into fantastic amount of wealth, politicians or directors of think tanks and stuff like that.
The BBC,
You're the establishment.
The BBC said something that I don't like once.
Yeah. So they're the establishment.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Suits have given us the Iraq War, the financial crisis... Brexit, neoliberalism, all that kind of stuff. We've seen the newspapers scandal with the inquiry, which the Conservatives refused to do, and all that. The police have had scandal after scandal and historic scandals, and then the paedophile thing, the Jimmy Savile thing.
Which obviously the Tory version of it says, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Stop it." Oh, okay.
And then you look at it, and the MP expenses. It's the MP expenses thing actually doesn't get mentioned that much. It doesn't even register anymore, and that was a massive scandal,
Yeah.
And we look at you look at this, and you go say, well, actually, maybe Suits don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
What we need is a guy who shoots from the hip, and you get Donald Trump.
But that's the argument, isn't it? This is the establishment responding to something happening. Well, we can't really have a Bernie Sanders, so we've got to have a billionaire who's going to do what we want, Or the Nigel Farage effect of people thinking he's anti-establishment with his background and everything, and the expenses scandal, and talking about they're awful, these MPs and the expenses scandal. We need someone we can trust like Nigel Farage. 500 grand. Apparently that's just the tip of the iceberg. They just spent it, honestly.
Something I did see something interesting actually about the way Democrats were described, because obviously there's a big problem with party funding and election funding in America. Vastly rich people can just throw money at politicians, and so what they look for in Republicans is a strong character, and what they look for in Democrat politicians are weak characters, people who when the donor says no, I want you to have this position, they go okay. So they've got moral principles up to the point where the donor says, well, I'm going to withdraw your funding unless you do the exact opposite.
Yeah, no one's going to throw themselves under a bus. Because
that's left. Whereas on the right, they actually go for quite strong characters, because obviously right-wing politicians, their natural instinct is to do what's in the interest of wealthy people.
Or themselves. Yeah.
Or themselves. So there's a big problem with American politics, the left side of American politics. And I'm not sure, it does kind of relate to the left-wing, so-called left-wing in this country.
It does, but it is definitely different, isn't it?
Obviously we've got... Well, actually, I mean, you look at Jeremy Corbyn, and the main issues that people on the left or Labour supporters have with Jeremy Corbyn, who have issues with Jeremy Corbyn, is his lack of support for the leadership in the past. That's the thing that comes up.
It's not establishment enough.
Yeah.
We fight the establishment with someone who's completely establishment.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. There was even a suggestion today, I noticed in The Guardian, no, The Independent, that Jeremy Corbyn's worried about Keir Starmer using his position to mount a leadership challenge in the future.
Mm.
A guy who couldn't look any more establishment if he tried, which is, unfortunate. If the PLP are putting all their hopes on Keir Starmer, they've got issues, because the guy's as wooden as Nicolas Cage.
Forge. So what's good about Donald Trump then? Is he good? Well, the thing he said in his original speech about we're going to invest in infrastructure and all that, that's brilliant. Rather than saying, we're going to reduce taxes and magic will happen. No, he's going to spend, and the debt's going to go up, but that's a good thing. That's what they need.
I mean, Bernie Sanders made the point, didn't he? He says, well, if Donald Trump says he's going to invest in infrastructure and create jobs, then we're going to help him with that. We're going to support him.
Yeah.
And if not, we're going to hold him to account. So, potentially there is room for some good stuff there. Mm. Unless he says, well, I'm going to create jobs as long as you're of a white background.
And male.
Yeah. Then there's going to be lots of jobs.
If you're Mexican, then we're going to magically teleport the SS from 1930s Germany into America to remove all the 2 million people on the day he's inaugurated somehow. That isn't going to happen because it's not logistically possible, is it?
No.
And he's talking about the illegal immigrants. If they're illegal immigrants, Obama's got rid of 3 million.
Well,
They can't just before they were deliberately keeping the illegal people in. Now that's bollocks, isn't it? They just can't catch them.
well, I actually, the argument is that actually the illegal immigrants are vital to the economy. They're doing all these sort of jobs
no one wants to do.
that no one wants to do. And obviously, any immigration creates growth.
Yeah.
And if you chuck 3 million people out of the country, what does that actually do to GDP? Which is a problem with using GDP as a performance indicator, in the sense that it's actually not a very good performance indicator.
No, it isn't. No, it's good if you're a stockbroker. It's important.
To everyone else, it just causes problems. It looks.
I mean, but certainly in this country, the belief of some kid thinks, oh yeah, but if they get rid of all these immigrants doing all these jobs, I'll be able to get a job now as a brain surgeon. No, you won't. I think all those UKIP voters are going to get jobs as brain surgeons. They're not, are they? Go to university, work hard, shut up,
etc. etc.
Yeah.
Have you heard the news today? It's actually quite recently back. I think it's only about an hour and a half old. The Supreme Court have ruled that the Scottish Parliament and the Welsh Parliament get to have a say over Article 50.
Well, yeah. Well, we knew that was going to happen, didn't we?
Common sense.
Why are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. It's just that this causes even more trouble for Theresa May.
Yeah.
Who's had a pretty tough week.
Yeah, well, we said all this, didn't we? We knew it was going to happen. And all these people that, I didn't know that was going to happen. Yes, you did. Like, everyone knew if you vote Leave, there's logical reasons for voting Leave, but it's going to cause a shitstorm. Of course it is. Because it was a stupid vote. It shouldn't have been yes/no.
Just think why the real reason why so many people are unhappy with David Cameron standing down, you're seeing it now.
Yeah.
He knew the kind of trouble he'd caused.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You know, he's put the union at risk. Obviously, this ruling severely undermines the union.
For me, that's much bigger, a much bigger deal. Europe and all the stuff we said about it, whatever, you know, our union, the United Kingdom. I would really worry what would happen if Scotland leave.
Well,
I think it would be bad.
Well, actually, would it be that bad?
Politically, economically,
really,
socially.
You know, we say it's bad because traditionally Labour had a lot of voters in there, and that gave Labour a chance electorally.
Yeah.
But now that's gone.
That's gone, yeah.
Because we've just got a bunch of SNP MPs. So would we really miss that? Would that make a big difference?
No. Well, yes, but the Labour thing. I mean, in my lifetime of voting, Labour have been a centre-right, Tories-like party anyway.
That's true.
You know, they've only, and if they change, they've not been able. Well, the voters are trying to change them, and they won't, or something. So, you know, the SNP are there, and they're pretty good when they're there in Parliament. You know, whether they're going to demonstrate that it makes no difference is the point they're trying to make. Unfortunately,
I think the damage that would happen realistically would be probably the divorce settlement, in the sense that once Scotland vote to leave, then there's going to have to be, how do we divvy up, you know, the funds and stuff like that, and the real estate. So Scotland think it's going to have all this oil, great, but it would be massive. It would have a massive shortfall.
yes.
So would then Scotland start demanding sort of parachute payments?
Yeah, saying, well,
from UK.
You took all our oil from years ago. Now,
Yeah.
it's not.
It could make massive tensions, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And if they don't get it, is Scotland just going to be this basket case on the north border, causing all sorts of problems because it's economically struggling?
Well, it'll never be a rich country, but I mean, the Republic of Ireland have done fine. Although there's an argument because of the EU, actually.
Yeah.
Although that, I mean, they had a referendum and they lost, so they had another one, and they won. But they like it again now because the economy went back up.
Scotland sees itself as a sort of Nordic state.
Yes.
Nordic country.
Yeah.
And the Nordic countries have done pretty well.
They've done very well.
But it's the transition, isn't it? How do you get from here to there?
They've been forced into a backwater by Margaret Thatcher. It would take a long time, you know.
And
they're not going to be Norway.
would the rest of the UK have to foot the bill for that? I don't know.